In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I attract the top tier prospects using content every single week. I'm talking prospects who make 10 to 100k per month with 10,000 plus followers, completely ready to fix the problem. 5 to 10k a month, completely ready. 10 to 100k a month, completely ready. 10 to 100k a month, completely ready. 5 to 10k a month, completely ready. With less than 10,000 followers on Instagram, with less than 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, this is one of the most untapped strategies I'm going to talk about in this video. And I'm going to be covering two main concepts: the exact sort of system that I leverage, my clients leverage, and the simple principle that helps me to reposition myself as the industry leader, or like as someone who is different in the personal branding space. I'm going to give you all of the information today, because the first thing you need to understand is that there are different stages of pain level. And once you understand this, that is where you're going to be able to leverage these concepts properly. So this is the phasor diagram, like I like to call it. Think about your prospect who wants to have a transformation, right? So basically, we all know that you're helping them go from A to B. That is the basic thing you're helping them with. Think about it like this. To go from A to B, they need to go through three phases: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Instead of providing solutions to phase 2 to phase 3, solution number 2, you provide solution number 1. But you don't charge anything for this, and you don't charge anything for this. What do I mean by this? Let me explain this properly. You need to understand this. Your market itself has a certain amount or a certain equity of people who have a different subsection of problems. And the rest of the people, the rest percentage of the people, have a different subsection of problems. To put it into a very much tangible way that you can understand this, an analogy, in a sense. Imagine you're a F1 race car company, right? You're an F1 company, and a driver approaches you. And the driver wants to work with you, and he wants to become an F1 race car driver. Think about it like this. Instead of making content to help people start becoming to become an F1 race car driver, you create content firstly which is relevant to people who want to start, and then relevant to people who have already started. Because essentially the entire transformation that you're selling is going from phase A to phase B. So phase A is where they don't know shit about driving. Phase B, or like the stage 2, the stage that they want to get to, is where they're the best race car driver in the world. To achieve this, they've got to go through different phases, and this is what I like to call the phasor diagram. That means every single phase is being solved with your content for free. Think about this. This is the exact video almost every single one of my prospects watch before they book a call with me. It has got about 61,000 views. It is the exact video that helps bridge my ICP's phase 1 to phase 2 scenario. Another reel that they watch, about 3,000 views. This helps them go from phase 2 to phase 3. So instead of shooting an arrow at a target which has less surface area, which you have like a higher chance of missing, you just increase the surface area. It's sort of like, for example, if there is a waterfall right here, imagine this is the waterfall, and this is the waterfall that you want to take water from. Instead of having a container hoping the only correct ICP falls in, you just create a staircase like scenario in which water just keeps on trickling down until it reaches your container. So you're essentially taking the market that you already have, that you want to target, while simultaneously educating the rest of the market to reach this level, so that you then can monetize them at that level. I hope this makes sense. So let me show it to you in a much more tangible scenario. There are 3 stages to the funnel that I leverage with my content. First of all is top of the funnel. 61k views, 2.6k views, 3.1k views. The point of these videos is not to, get views and feel good about myself. The point of these videos is to generate curiosity. Because the moment I generate curiosity, that is the moment I'm able to capture attention. Because you need to understand this. If you have 100 units of attention to be allocated, you want to make sure that you take in as much attention as you can from the prospects' minds. That means extracting the optimal amount of attention so that you're in their head. Almost every single sales call I've ever taken, people have come from this exactly, because I tapped into that same curiosity that you need to tap into as well. So think about it like this. Think about this scenario. You lead with curiosity. which is top of the funnel, right? Which is top of the funnel. Middle of funnel, this is where you show nurturing. 1.6k views, 4.8k views. This one, I'm not really sure, like 2.5k views. So 2.5k views. I don't get a lot of views, but these videos now serve as a means of actually creating nurturing. What does nurturing even mean? Nurturing is only like a fancier term or a fancier word for saying that, you know, you're convincing your prospects that you have some level of information that they don't. Essentially, you're creating an info gap, which is what middle of funnel content does. So the people who come into my profile, they come in because of curiosity. They see my content, they're curious about what I do. Secondly, they go and watch this middle of funnel content, which nurtures them, which shows them that, you know, maybe Rohit has some level of knowledge that I don't, which is exactly why he's getting the results, which is middle of funnel content. Bottom of funnel content, I also leverage short form content for bottom of funnel content, but that's actually very, you know, that's not a determining factor. My highlight sequences are my biggest determining factor. Let me just show you my highlight sequences so you can better see what I'm talking about. This is my highlight sequences. This is my start here highlight sequences. You can see this is specifically made so that the people who come into my profile know exactly what I do. They know exactly where I have a lot of information and a lot of insider knowledge that they want to have. Look at this. So much value given here for free. So much value. You can go and check it out later on. It's in the description of this video. You can see my profile. Bottom of funnel is where you're creating the tipping point. So think of it like this. Like pain is never linear. So people will only and only buy when they're at this point of pain, at the highest level of pain. Top of funnel gets them to ascend. Middle of funnel gets them to ascend. Bottom of funnel is what gets them to take the action to book a call. Which is exactly why the people who I'm able to talk to on a call are 100% ready to buy. They've basically no objections. I don't have to sit there and convince them as to, like, you know, I have some level of authority. They're half convinced themselves. So how do I do that? There are few key processes I have inside my company that my clients get access to. So this is the first things first that I have. So I have an onboarding form. So I have an onboarding form every single one of my clients have to fill. And this is the first data touch point. So I figure out exactly what made them join in, and this helps me pinpoint the most important thing required to create an influence. So if my client tells me it is because of X reason that they were convinced to buy, I just double down on it using my attention generation mechanisms, which basically just creates a sense of leverage in which every single time I post a video related to X, it's going to perform more. So it essentially just compounds the results that I get. I also have information about their offer, their ICP, who is their competition. Then I create a one-on-one strategy for them so that they're able to position themselves. They also get access to my custom software. Now this is where the magic happens. My custom software gives them content ideas for top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel ideas. So you have ideas specifically related to your offer, which obviously they gave me, you know, related to your offer, your ICP. So every single part of it is optimized. But you also have scripting, which basically generates short form scripts for you based on any idea that you choose. So you've got a highly optimized short form script based on the idea you choose, which essentially means that you're like what's happening is it's like the first automation touch point. I'm really excited about this because this is one of the key things that differentiates me, and I'll talk about another concept later on as well. So my custom SaaS gives my clients weekly content ideas, which they break down to create scripts. So after each script you generate, the bot becomes smarter, so it improves over time. So essentially think about it like this. It's a creative director which works 24/7 that you pay once for. That's the scenario you're in. This is why this SaaS is one of the highest leverage things that I built. Secondly, they get access to a school community, which has the exact information and SOPs required to fix these problems. So I talked about this right over here in the phaser diagram. 3 phases. This is the exact 3 phases I help my clients with. Phase 1, fixing the bottleneck. The first, fix touch points. So my clients are given custom SOPs to figure out the bottlenecks in offer, pricing, ICP, and each component has a mechanism in place to create leverage. They have offer training, in which basically they fill out a form which gives them super in-depth information as to where they are leaking in their offers. Secondly, pricing, how to make sure how you leverage pricing in the right way so that you maximize profits. And we've got different pricing mechanisms in place which basically give them access to like different pricing options, so like monthly recurring, upfront, rev share, everything, so that you are paid your time And at the same time, people don't have objections to pay you the money. ICP report, this is one of the greatest things that I built, because it gives you a full 4-5 page long in-depth ICP just from a single prompt. You add that into the SaaS and you've got a higher leverage of ideas that you get, a higher leverage of scripts that you get, all automated for you. Secondly is phase 2, which is content mechanisms. There's a second fixed touch point that they have SOPs about. So they get access to a software, obviously, which gives them ideation and scripting, but they also have SOPs for story sequences, highlight sequences, YouTube videos, trackers for every single component. So think about it like this. They get content ready-made, and we have a specific system we use basically to take reels that work for you, short form that works for you, create it into YouTube long forms, post it, redirect traffic to Instagram. So you're basically funneling your audience at every single stage. They go from IG to YouTube to IG to YouTube until they book a call with you. It's as simple as that. And trackers for every single component, so that everything that you do is tracked. Every single component is tracked to the details, so you have inside knowledge as to exactly what is working for you and when. And phase 3 is conversion mechanisms. This is the third fixed touch point. My clients get access to SOPs for conversions, exact DM scripts, booking page questions, so that the prospects who they book the calendar with are precisely qualified. They only talk to qualified prospects, not beginners at all. And it's called leveraging the pre-market sophistication, which I'll talk to you in a second about. But the moment you do this conversion mechanisms, you're essentially going to be talking to prospects who are extremely ready to buy, which is the exact thing that we want. You see how this plays into why most people's sales funnel sucks, why most people's content sucks, because they don't leverage this level of understanding. They don't leverage this level of breakdowns of psychology in place, because you don't know what is happening in the prospect's mind. Until you do know what is happening, you cannot do shit. Let me explain to you what I mean by pre-market sophistication and why exactly I'm able to stand out in the niche of personal branding, even though everybody's doing it. This is the Google Trends for personal branding from 2022 to 2025. 2020 to 2025, the last 5 years. You can see from 2020, the highest here was around 2023, where people were interested in personal branding. It had an upward trend, but now it is falling. You've got some level of difference here, but this is the big difference that people have lost in. You need to understand the fallacy of opportunity. If you see someone talking about a business model, you are the customer. If you see SMMA on YouTube, you are the customer. If you see AI automation, growth operating, you are the customer. That's why I don't make how to make money online videos, because I don't want you to fall for the fallacy of opportunity. See, most people take control of an opportunity way later than when it should have been done. So Bezos created Amazon when he noticed an upward trend to online shopping. He noticed that online shopping was trending upwards. It's going to be the next big thing. Upward and not the top. With personal branding, if you started a personal branding offer here, it would have worked. It doesn't work anymore. It's on a decline. It doesn't work anymore. That's exactly why most content agencies are broke. Nobody likes content agencies for that exact reason. And most people who are competing with me are still selling personal branding. They're still selling personal branding when it is on a downfall, not when it is on an upward trend. And doing so when it was rising was the best thing, but not anymore. The markets have sophisticated. When a specific interest keeps on rising, market sophistication is at the lowest. People have no idea why and how it works. When Facebook ads came out for the first time, the markets weren't sophisticated at all. They had no idea, people had no idea how to run ads. But now if you look at it, Facebook ad costs are higher than ever, and it's actually really hard to figure it out. It's the same thing with personal branding as well. When personal branding was going up, that was the best opportunity for you to take, for people who I'm competing against to take opportunity, get into, but now not anymore. The more people enter this space, the more obsolete you become. Look at this pricing model. Look at this. Think about it like this. For you to attract the top 1% of people who are actually going to pay, the best clients you can have, you need to enter the market when there are 1% of people who know about the exact thing that you're getting into. The more people enter into the space, the worse people you're going to attract. You're competing on price. There are opportunities right now which are going upwards. They're trending upwards, which is exactly why you should get into them. For example, micro SaaS. If you want to have insider knowledge, WOP SaaS. This is one of the highest leverage trending things you can leverage right now. It's one of the highest uprising things. WOP SaaS companies, people who build SaaS for WOP communities. The less people know about it, the more you can charge, because the more you're attracting the best audiences. This is exactly why people fall for the fallacy of opportunity. I don't sell personal branding. I don't sell personal branding. The way I have positioned myself is like this. Everybody knew about personal branding, and now because everybody knows about personal branding, people have lost interest in personal branding. But the point of a personal brand is to make money, is to get leads for your business, especially a B2B personal brand. So inbound acquisition systems become the next big thing, which is exactly what I sell, which is exactly what I help my clients with installing. I am ahead of market sophistication. I am in the pre-market sophistication era, in which I am targeting the right opportunity while it is on an upward trend. While it is on an upward trend, I am targeting that, which is exactly why I'm able to get people curious into what I have to do. Which is exactly why I'm able to create this sort of leverage. And if you want to do this for you, you need to understand what is the pre-market sophistication the tactic that you can leverage, so that you become the next big thing while it is on an upward trend. Become the Bezos when online shopping is popping off, not when online shopping is already at the top. That is how you create opportunity. That is how you create differentiation. And then you leverage it with the stages of pain level and understanding the phasor diagram, so that you're creating a scenario in which every single ICP that you speak to, or every single person who comes into your profile, becomes your ICP. Think about it like this. Let me explain this exact concept right now. Imagine the people who are aware of inbound acquisition systems are these people, the top 1% of my niche. I am creating content so that subconsciously they're going to reach a point in which they become aware of inbound acquisition systems, which is the 99% of people. This video itself, the sole purpose of this video is to make you aware of the concept of inbound acquisition systems and why it is the next best thing to work on instead of a personal brand. Because I hate the word personal brand right now. Everybody's fucking destroyed it completely. It makes no sense. All of these videos are targeted towards making you aware of what an inbound acquisition system is, which essentially means that the next time you're going to think about inbound acquisition systems, I am there in your mind. I am going to be the face that you think about. You see how high leverage this mechanism is. And this is something that my clients get a huge amount of information on. Like the one-on-one strategy we create is absolutely banging. Like it really just works instantly. So if you want to work with me, by the way, you can check the description, DM me on Instagram. If you are a good fit, I'm a very ruthless guy with qualifying people. So if you are a good fit, which very less people are, you know, we can work together. We'll absolutely dominate your industry. I'm really excited for this opportunity because this is the next big thing, and I want to become a part of the future, and I want to take you on to become the part of the future. You can subscribe down below or anything, do whatever you want to. Fuck off. I don't know, bye.